Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Hey there, welcome into Golf Central. Ryan Burr along with Brandel Chambly and David Duvall as we are set up for a fantastic Monday finish at the Deutsche Bank Championship, where the last 6 times the winner has not come from the guy that had the 54-hole lead. What does that mean for Monday? Well, not great news for overnight leader Kevin Chappell. Here he is at 12.
And this is a beautiful tee shot, and there are a number of people that believe that if you hit a drive down the middle of the fairway and it ends up in a divot, you should be entitled to move it out of the divot. I would imagine after this, Kevin Chappell would be one of those people. Up till then, everything had gone just fine, and he comes up and out of this one trying to play it back in his stance and have a steep descending blow on it. And he would make double just like that.
Some like it on the rocks, others don't. You can see the impact, just how that divot impacts the shot. So Chappell now his third, pitching from behind the rock. We saw Phil Mickelson get it close.
Very, very difficult place to try to play from. Ricochets off the rock, over the green. Just having to hover the club in the hazard there. Just doesn't quite get underneath the ball. Shoots off the face of the rock, and it's just not the place you want to be. And that divot he was in wasn't so much a divot. That looked like a hole, Brandel. That was a giant hole.
It did. Some divots are steeper than others, and that one was one of the steeper ones. Meanwhile, Jimmy Walker back to doing what he does well, which is climb up leaderboards thanks to a hot putter like that at the 15th hole, which put him to 11 under par, and at the time one back.
Smiley Kaufman made his move on Saturday morning. At one point, he was 7 under through 7 holes, trying to make a comeback here on Sunday.
Looking good, pouring it in down the hill. That'll put a smile on his face after the LSU loss yesterday.
But Paul Casey, 1 PGA Tour win to his credit, looked like a man possessed on Sunday.
Yeah, just a gorgeous golf swing, and it always has been. There hasn't been a whole lot of change in that swing over the years. He suffered from time to time with some off-course inconveniences, but he's got everything back in order these days, including that golf swing.
2-shot lead, 13 under. Brian Harman now at 18. It's the par 5.
Just one of the scrappy fighters on the PGA Tour. Not scared when he gets in position. Staring this down, throwing it just behind the hole, letting it come back off the slope. 5-footer would make that birdie, moving him to 12 under.
Casey back in the fairway.
Saving the best for the last. Leading the field in proximity to the hole, and as Johnny Miller had pointed out, this was getting every single inch out of that iron. He needed to bust it. He needed to hit it right out of the middle of the bat, and he did that, and almost made an albatross to close out, but increased his lead with one swing of the club.
You could see just how close it would come. Paul Casey, that 1 PGA Tour win, it came with the 54-hole lead at the 2009 Shell Houston Open, and that is exactly where he is again. Paul Casey, 66, 66, 66, 15 under par. Casey will head into Monday where things will look a whole lot different than they did on Sunday. The sun won't be shining, the wind will be up, and this golf course will be a monster. Paul Casey will take a 3-shot lead into Monday.
For the 3rd straight day, a round of 66 for Paul Casey. Before the day, I asked you how were you going to do it. How did you do it?
I didn't think it would be with an eagle on the last. You know, it was more of the same great ball striking. It was much tougher today. You know, I felt like I hadn't missed a shot through 3 holes and I was 1 over, which was highlighting how difficult it was out there. You know, attitude was great as well. You know, I think things got maybe a little easier because finally you get some holes where the wind's kind of helping you and allowing you to get it close. Plus they moved some tees up. You know, we can't deny the course a little shorter today, which I'm thankful for. But it's all about tomorrow. I'm loving the fact I've got a lead, but with what's coming tomorrow, it's going to be a tough day.
How do you approach that final round with the weather and everyone trying to catch you?
Great attitude again. You know, I'd love to give myself as many birdie opportunities as I've been doing the first 3 days. If that happens, then you know, it puts me in a really, really strong position. If not, it could be a real grind. But either way, I'm, you know, just really happy that the game is, you know, where I want it. And, you know, the Sky Boys just highlighted it's been I've had a few events out here and only got one win, so I'd love to double that tally. And, you know, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, I'm pretty confident it will happen relatively soon.
Paul, another great round. See you Monday.
Cool. Thank you.
Casey does have 13 career wins on the European Tour. But here it is, 54-hole leads on the PGA Tour. Where it stands, you can see it happened in 2009. It led to a win. We will see if it leads to his second win come tomorrow. Now, much of the East Coast has already been affected by what was Hurricane Herman. The after effects, which still pack a pretty good punch, are expected in Boston on Monday, which has prompted the PGA Tour to move up tee times to 7 a.m. with 72 players off split tees. With the very latest, here's Steve Burkowski.
Ryan, the weather here, the first 2 days absolutely ideal at TPC Boston, but for today's third round, the wind picked up, and that is just a beacon of things expected on Monday due to Hermine. Brad Nelson, the PGA Tour's on-site meteorologist, telling us earlier in the day that Monday morning winds expected around 15 miles an hour, gusting up to 25 miles an hour, and that will pick up throughout the course of the late morning with showers expected, and then the heaviest winds between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Monday. Winds sustained around 25 miles per hour, gusting up to 35 to 40 miles per hour. So that combination of weather expected for Monday made the decision very easy for Mark Russell from the PGA Tour.
The best thing to do is to start early off 2 tees. That way, if we do get shut down, we're going to be in a situation where we can come back out and have a little time to finish. We needed basically 7 hours, 2 hours of tee times basically, and then 5 hours of play. So if we finish at 2 o'clock, that means it gives us about 5 hours of built-in cushion so we can come back and finish. So that's what we're looking at to do. If we got everybody strung out on 1 tee and we had a problem, it would really take us a while to get finished. So that's the plan. We're going to start at 2 tees. The first time 7 o'clock, last time 8:50. And if we don't get interrupted, we hopefully we can finish around 2 o'clock.
Mark Russell went on to say that moving the tee times up on Monday was not impacted or affected at all due to the BMW Championship next week at Crooked Stick. But Ryan, keep in mind, this is a Monday finish here at TPC Boston, and there are a lot of people in Norton, Massachusetts that have a quick turnaround to Crooked Stick before Thursday's opening round.
Appreciate that, Burko. Good information for sure. So it's Paul Casey heading into the final round with the lead. Guys, this is a world-class player. In 2009, he's had the highest career world rank. He was 3rd in the world. He trailed only Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. Yet you look at the wins, there's just one. How's it happened?
You got me. That's a head-scratcher. I'd say he's due for multiple wins. He might be the most talented player to ever get this far along in his career with only 1 win. You said he got as high as number 3 in the world. This is the first week of September. First week of September in 2000, the man who was number 3 in the world sits just to my left. He won 13 times, 1 major championship. 5 years later, the first week of September, the man who was number 3 in the world was Phil Mickelson. He won 42 times, 5 major championships. This time last year, the man who was number 3 in the world was Jason Day. At the time, he had won his first major championship. He'd won 7 times. He's since added 3 victories to it. Talking about a world-class talent with only 1 win. I've been saying for a long, long time, it's only a matter of time, but time is slipping away from him. So the time is tomorrow.
Well, the time is tomorrow, and we talked about it earlier. In these type of conditions, the way he played golf, you hear the term he hits a heavy golf ball. Well, he does, and he can manage these conditions. And, you know, let's not forget he has won 13 times in Europe. So you're talking about an extremely accomplished player, big-time winner. It just hasn't materialized for one reason or another on the PGA Tour. There's injuries, there's circumstance, there's things of that nature that just happen in golf. But it is that time, and I don't foresee any way that he doesn't go out in what it sounds like are going to be potentially atrocious conditions and execute, because tomorrow is about hitting the golf ball. You heard him talk of attitude. It's about attitude and hitting solid golf shots. That's how you're going to excel tomorrow, because if you miss-hit a golf shot at all, has the potential to go off the golf course if it's blowing 30 to 40 miles an hour.
Going to be interesting for sure. Paul Casey looking for win number 2. A lot more still to come from the Deutsche Bank Championship, including the game inside the game. Only 70 players will advance to Indianapolis in the BMW, plus all these Ryder Cup implications for the United States and their captain, Davis Love III. on the LPGA Tour? How about a 1 versus 2 showdown on Sunday, or would it be someone else that would steal the show from Ko and Jatanyagard? We'll tell you straight ahead.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball at the Deutsche Bank Championship. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. Bushnell Golf and the Tour X. Slope technology when you want it. Tournament legal when you need it.